Let's talk about guitar accessories today, guys. There is a ton of great guitar accessories that just makes our life that much easier. Like the Groove Gear Fret Wrap, where you can put anywhere that your guitar strings are suspended, like let's say the bridge or above the nut on your guitar, and when you're muting your guitar, it will cut down on any ringing noises coming from your strings. Or if you're playing a very technical lead part and you want no strings to be ringing out while you're playing that part, like if you're recording or anything like that, well, you can put this above where you're playing and it will cut down on any string ringing noise there as well. And of course, there's the Ernie Ball Power Peg, which is pretty self-explanatory. It is an electronic peg winder drill. Just makes your life a lot easier when restringing your guitar. And of course, along with these amazing guitar accessories that I just told you guys about, there is the weird, funky cousin of the guitar accessory world. And I think we all know the weird cousin. Well, that is what we are checking out today. We are going to be looking at the weirdest guitar accessories that I was able to find on the internet. This is going to be a very strange video, but let's get into it. So before we begin, I do want to let you guys know that this video is strictly for entertainment purposes. Some of you might not find some of these accessories very weird, but to me, when I'm scrolling through the internet and I see them and I go, that's really a thing? Well, that's why they ended up here on this video. So it is just strictly entertainment purposes in this video, and let's go ahead and get into the first one. The first weird guitar accessory on our docket today is the guitar learning system. So the idea with this guy is that it will basically sit on your guitar's fretboard, kind of like so. It'll be fastened down by these wonderful rubber bands that they included, and there is a chord chart that they also included, and you'll just push down on these buttons right here, and it'll push down on the strings, and you'll learn basically the first 3 frets of your guitar and all the basic chords. I have my doubts, but let's see if it actually works. So this is a really interesting guitar accessory, and I feel like this is one of those cases that just looks much better on paper than in actual application. So the issues that I have with the guitar learning system is one being the feet. The feet I feel are a little bit too sharp, and I think they're digging into my fretboard just a bit. Also, where they're laying on the fretboard is where the strings are vibrating. So it's like you get horrible fret buzz, except it's the feet getting in the way of the string, and it just kills the sustain of the notes. The buttons sometimes don't line up with the strings, and I feel like just having the rubber bands isn't quite enough to just like hold it still. It moves ever so slightly, and then the button sometimes gets stuck under the string, and then I got to go up here and I got to kind of pull it out from underneath the string, kind of snap it out. Also, the wonderful chord chart that they gave us is basically a regular chord chart. So it will have the numbers that are your fingers. It's the same numbers that are on your fingers that we all learned when we first started playing guitar. But the numbers on there don't coincide with the numbers on the guitar learning system. And for me, that just makes things a little bit too confusing. So I'm gonna have to say the guitar learning system is probably a no for me. Let's see what we got going on next. This next accessory is for those of us that may be at a party and no one is acknowledging your awesome shredding skills, but you want to attract a crowd, so you pull this guy out of your back pocket. This is the pocket shredder. All you have to do is just take off the lid here, and you have a 6-string neck. And then you can go ahead and show off your shredding skills all day long to all the people at the party and everything, and they'll come talk to you about guitar. It's not awkward at all. Not awkward at all. Then when people come over and they acknowledge your shredding skills, then you just kind of put on the lid there and throw it in your back pocket. This is the pocket shredder. I don't think I see myself ever using this at any point, honestly, especially even for practicing my left hand, because when I'm practicing my left hand, I expect to also practice my right hand and get the consistency between the two together. So, I don't know. This is a weird one, guys. Pocket shredder. Let's see what we got going on next. This next guitar accessory is for those of us that want to expand the reach of our fingers on our fretboard. Also, to tickle our masochistic and contortionist needs, I give you guys the finger expander. And basically, you're just supposed to do this for about 5 to 10 minutes a day and kind of get it, feel the burn, get the blood flow going. The sheet that it came with actually literally says it's normal to feel pain when using this. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but if you feel that it's not quite wide enough for your hand, they give you this nice little Phillips head screwdriver, and you can kind of adjust that, move that out a little bit. Yeah, much better for my big clunky hands. And then there's exercises on the sheet too. You can do like 2 fingers like this. I'm gonna have the buffest hand around. This is gonna be crazy. We'll do the 2 outer ones. We'll get the devil horns going, get them going strong for those concerts. Yeah, it's really strange. It's very weird. It's a weird guitar accessory. Oh, just felt my hand pop. I hope that's normal too. Anyways, before I hurt myself, let's move on to the next guitar accessory. The next accessory is for those of us that don't like to push in on our guitar strings because they dig into our fingers and they hurt. Also for those of us that are just infatuated with finger puppets and want to give our fingers little ski masks. Well, these are finger protectors, and basically they protect our fingers from the big bad strings whenever we push them in. And it's mostly aimed towards beginners, but I wanted to get a set of them and see what I thought about them. I mean, honestly, they're basically finger condoms. Well, let's go ahead and throw them on and see what we think of them. And they're all numbered. This pink one has the number 0 on it, and it's pink, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that it goes on my pinky. So let's go ahead and let's get this guy on. It's extremely tight. Maybe I got the wrong size. Haha! We got the first one on. Move on to the next one. These are weirdly sized. It's weird because the first 3 fingers, it was way too tight, but the index finger actually fits really nicely in that one. I feel ridiculous with these on. These feel very strange. The first half of them are too tight. The last 2 fingers are just right, actually. It actually makes me think this is what it feels like when you put shoes on a dog and then the dog starts like putting its hind legs up because it just feels really strange to them. That's what I imagine is what this feels like. Yeah, well, let's go ahead and test it out. Let's see if I like the finger protectors at all. So to me, these just don't feel right. It doesn't feel right to play with them at all, especially with the silicone material that they're made out of. Whenever I go to slide to a certain note, it just catches and kind of drags. It's not very smooth at all. Also, when I'm kind of tight and doing stuff very close together, they catch on each other as well. Overall, it just feels wrong to have these on. It's not right for me. I'm used to just having bare fingers and stuff like that, but I do understand that this is aimed more towards a beginner crowd. For those of us that do have a hard time with the strings where they dig into your fingers, I think this would be absolutely perfect, but for me, definitely not. And also, I can feel my pulse through it, especially the tighter ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these off before I lose a finger here, and we'll move on to the next accessory. The next guitar accessory, in my own opinion, is more of a fashion statement than an actual guitar accessory, but I will let you guys be the judges of this one. I give you the Guitar Pick Bracelet, and it is for those of us that are out and about and we just need our clothing and our whole atmosphere around us to be screaming, "I play guitar." We'll be out there on the street, you know, itching ourselves, showing it off, you know, hey, pointing at someone over there, make sure they see the guitar pick and everything. So when you're out and about and you actually get your hands on a guitar, then you can dive in here and you can get it. I'll have you guys know, this was actually extremely hard to put this guitar pick in here. Aha! And then we have a guitar pick for playing guitar, especially if we're not at Guitar Center, which hands out free guitar picks. The guitar pick bracelet. I will never wear this. I think I pulled out a few hairs actually putting this on. Yeah, no, too weird for me. Let's move on to the next one. The final weird guitar accessory that I have for you guys today is the string stretcher. And this might not seem completely out of the realm weird for everyone, and actually it doesn't for me either, but my big thing with this one that made me double take when I saw it was, why do I need this when I can do it with my own hands? So the idea is, after you restring your guitar, you go ahead and you put the string in the groove on the bottom here. I'll kind of hold it a little bit closer, maybe you guys can see that. Right there, and then you turn it around and you put the rest of the string in that top groove right there, and then you put it in the guitar and you just kind of give it a nice little crank. It'll stretch out that string. It'll make it not go out of tune as easy, because as soon as we restring our guitar strings, they do need time to acclimate and stretch out and everything to where they will stay in tune a lot better. So let me go ahead, let me grab one of my guitars here. Let me grab my Harley Benton single cut. Let's see how this does, how this feels. I'm really unsure of this. Actually, that's not too bad. Yeah, it just kind of gives it a nice little crank. Move on to the next one. It's not bending the string, which is huge in my own opinion. You know, this might be the first one on the list today that I actually don't hate. The string stretcher. This isn't too bad. I think this does a little bit better than just taking it with my hand and just kind of cranking on it, but it's definitely nothing that I can't do with my own hands. It's just able to get in there and get a little bit more torque on it. Interesting. Not too bad. And that is all the weird guitar accessories that I have for you guys today. If you have your own weird guitar accessories, please let me know down in the comments below. I really wouldn't mind making this a regular thing. I had a ton of fun checking these out and really making this video. It was just overall a ton of fun, and I think it'd be really cool to check out some more weird guitar stuff. If you are enjoying my videos in any way, shape, or form, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton here on the channel. And with that being said, my name is Chris with High Impact Audio, and I will see you guys next time.